Are they police? No. They are Chengguan, which is a unique law enforcement agency in China that deals with small crimes. In China, where the rule of law is weak, Chengguan, who have unclear authority, have become a nightmare for the people. And Chengguan's violent enforcement is no big news in China. Chengguan was established by the CCP in 2002. According to official documents, Chengguan is mostly targeting unlicensed street vendors and is responsible to maintain the city's image. Chengguan are much like police officers, but they do not have police authority and are usually temporary workers. However, there were many cases of Chengguan using their temporary enforcement power to bully the public, rob their assets, and even beat them up. According to the US Embassy's 2018 Human Rights Report, Chinese local governments often use Chengguan to carry out dirty jobs, including forced land acquisition and forced eviction of houses. In BBC's report, it said, "This para-police force, equipped with steel helmets and stab-proof vests, is often used by local officials as troubleshooters." Although China's laws includes criminal prosecution of officers who abuse their power, such cases are rarely pursued, except with political reasons. This is why the situation has been worsening every day. On June 3, 2013, an online video sparked discussion among netizens. The video showed a group of uniformed Chengguan clashing with the owner of a bicycle shop and forcibly confiscating the shop's bicycles and beating up the man. The man was knocked to the ground while one of the Chengguan jumped and stomped on his head. However, this is not a special case. This image of the Chinese Chengguan has been deeply imprinted. Towards others' misfortune? On April 19, 2014, in Wenzhou, Zhejiang Province, Chengguan received an order to remove merchants and vendors near the farmers' market. A man who was passing by and took photos was surrounded and bullied by more than 20 Chengguan. He was hit on the chest and fell unconscious. The incident triggered the anger of tens of thousands of local residents, who later gathered to avenge the victims. However, the authorities deployed thousands of special police from provincial level and forcibly suppressed the protesters with tear gas and rubber bullets. Although the people were unwilling to waver and decided to sue the local government, the authorities claimed that the 5 Chengguan were only temporary workers and shirked their responsibility. The incident is a perfect example demonstrating the boiling public discontent in Chinese society that has reached the brink of collapse. As citizens become more and more disillusioned with the CCP regime, more and more Chinese citizens take to the streets to protest and to defend their rights. Instead of listening to the people and respecting human rights, the CCP authority took the opposite approach. In August 2012, Beijing established its first armed Chengguan force in Wuhan, Hubei province, with the first 40 Chengguan joining the militia, being the special armed force of the city's Chengguan establishment. Maintaining social stability, known as Weiwen in China, has always been the CCP's first priority. In fact, there are 3 official security agencies for maintaining social stability: the Ministry of State Security, the Ministry of Public Security, and the People's Armed Police. The People's Armed Police is very similar to the establishment of a national army, but it's an army against its own people. Adding the armed Chengguan, China now has 4 military-grade forces only to contain its people. Since the June 4th Tiananmen massacre, the CCP has become very paranoid, fearing the Chinese people would overthrow it. Moreover, the serious corruption among CCP government officials and the lack of regulation of powers worsens the situation. Take the local government as an example. In order to maintain their performance and get benefits from all sides, misrepresentation is a common practice. At the same time, as social resistance has increased and public discontent has boiled over, China's stabilization agencies have grown rapidly in size, making it one of the world's most expensive in terms of public security. The cost of stabilization is referred to as public security spending in official Chinese documents. As early as 2009, China's stabilization spending was 75.229 billion, or 10.7 billion USD, while spending 70.384 billion, 9.15 billion USD on national defense. In 2013, the main text of the budget did not mention the Fund for Stabilization, but in the public security column in the attached table, it was listed as 769.08 billion, or 110 billion USD, which was tenfold the 2009 numbers. This year, it reached 1.39 trillion yuan, 200 billion USD, doubling again in just 5 years. China's huge stabilization costs not only suggest that the Chinese people are living in dire straits, but also suggest that the status of the CCP could easily be shaken by its own people. Many have said for now, China is like a boiling pot. If the lid is forced to close, it will only result in an even bigger explosion.